Alright, so this is round one of a 4-round constructed daily event. I'm playing the Black-Green Devotion deck, and I'm on the draw. And this hand seems perfectly fine, so we'll keep this one. Stomping Ground, Elvish Mystic. Okay. Probably some sort of red-green aggro deck. Tempo of Malady, Malady, whatever you want to call it. Do I want to turn one Thoughtseize? The problem with turn one Thoughtseizing is really it's going to be difficult for me to actually get a turn 3 Lifebane Zombie, which is going to be really good against him because my third line comes into play tapped. So what I could do is I could go Temple into Thoughtseize, Overgrown Tomb into Lifebane Zombie. That's a possibility. Because the Devour Flesh is only going to hit the Elvish Mystic. That's a possibility. Or I could try to spike it and just go Swamp, and if I draw an untapped land next turn, and go Swamp into Overgrown Tomb, like Devour Flesh, or Swamp Devour Flesh, and then turn 3 Lifebane Zombie. Then I won't get a turn 4 Desecration Demon. I think I'm going to turn 1 Thoughtseize here. A turn 2 Corsair or a turn 2 Domri would be a real big problem. So let's go ahead and try to stop that. And if he ends up having not very much, see, he has a Corsair and nothing else, basically. So our Lifebane Zombie's not actually going to do very much. He's not going to have a creature in his hand. Unless he draws one. But if he draws one, he's just going to play it. Because next turn he's going to play these two. We're taking the Corsair. Because we can't actually kill it. But the Devour Flesh in our hand is looking pretty mediocre. Not going to have very many targets. It's going to hit an Elvish Mystic. Or I can save it and try to use it on my own Desecration Demon. So that's a possibility. He put a card on the bottom with the Temple of Abandon. And so now we have the choice between playing Temple or Devour Flesh. So his hand is Blood Crypt, Elvish Mystic, and an Unknown, the card he drew for the turn. Probably just want to play Temple here to try to make sure that I get a turn 4 Desecration Demon, which is critical against red-green. And we don't need this Swamp, so we're going to put this on the bottom. Stormmarcher are going to be pretty bad for me. Polychronos will be bad for me too. Turns out that's what he has. Okay. Well, this is not good. This is not good at all. We need to draw like a Doomblade for this guy. If we draw a Doomblade, we're looking good. As it is, it's tough. We could play Underworld Connection. Our Lifebane Zombie is not going to do very much. It's just going to die to Polychronos. But it's possible. His hand is Blood Crypt, so we know that the card in his hand is not a creature for us to take. Oh, goodness. What is our game plan? He's going to probably activate... I mean, if we play Lifebane Zombie, it might... We might need to Devour Flesh ourselves this game, so I don't think that's going to be a possibility. We can play Underworld... Like, if we play an Overgrown Tomb, we're going to take 2 less damage. If we play Lifebane Zombie, are we going to take 2 less damage? I don't think so. It's going to be kind of tough here. Going to be tough here. I'm going to go with the Lifebane Zombie. Just makes him use the Polychronos this turn. This can also block an Elvish Mystic, so I take 1 less damage. But you can also use the Elvish Mystic to pump into Polychronos. Yeah, I mean, I don't like Devour Flushing there because I think I might actually have to use it on my own Desecration Demon. Plus, there's a possibility he plays like a Stormwrath Dragon, so Lightbane Zombie's better in play than not. So we're taking 9, and then he's going to tap our demon and 9 us again. Yeah, there's really... I mean, it's possible. The only real course of action, it's very possible I should just play it on War Connections and activated looking for a Hero's Downfall or a Doomblade. Because I mean, at this point, that was our only out. Yep. Yep. Doesn't look good. Oh yeah, Stormwrath Dragon. That's not good either. Yeah, we were drawing Lightbane Zombie, so it doesn't actually matter. It didn't cost us the game. Alright, so here... get some Doomblades for sure. There aren't that many Abrupt Decay targets in his deck, but... other than 2 Doomblades, the Devour Flushes are not that great against him. He has Elvish Mystics and he has 2 Incaryatids. I mean, 2-mana kill one of those guys is not particularly useful. Pack Rats. Pack Rat against Red or Green is kind of iffy because they can actually beat it with, you know, Elvish Mystic and a Domri into like Kalecranos or Corsair and just fight. And then from there, it's really difficult for you to get anywhere. I like it. It's probably good enough on the play still, but I think on the draw, it's probably not good enough. So we're going to look taking out some Pack Rats on the draw. Gosh, Abrupt Decays don't have that many targets. Other than Domri, there's like Domri and Corsair, and that's it. The only targets in his deck. I think Devour Flesh is probably a bit better than that. Not a great hand. Not a great hand, but we can Thoughtseize him, and hopefully that'll delay him long enough for us to get to turn 4 and try to draw a card, try to get a Lightbane Zombie or something on turn 4. So he mulligan is 6, and I'm gonna Thoughtseize him turn 1. Magma Spray. An interesting choice. Xenaghost is not particularly good against Lightbane Zombies, so I'm not terribly worried about that guy either. You put a card on top with his Temple of Abandon. Okay. We might end up taking it next turn, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to Thoughtseize a Magma Spray, so... we know whatever card in his hand is the card he wanted to keep. So we can Thoughtseize him here. Kalecranos. And then play the Swamp. We're not going to play Pack Rat into his Magma Spray. And this is the exact type of position you want to be in when you're the Black Devotion player. Your opponent just has no board, and you have an Unwar Connections at 16 life. Your goal now is just to draw a host of Doomblades. What is this? Okay. Well, good thing we waited to turn 4 on the Unwar Connection, so we actually drew a card. Well, he has a Magma Spray in his hand, so we could wait. Oh, that's a good one. I was going to say that we could wait 1 additional turn, and if we are able to play Pack Rat and activate it and leave open Mutavault when he taps low for something, if he taps all his red mana like he does right here. Okay. Oh, he's just going to pop our guy off. Okay. Do we know the last card in his hand? Let me see. So his hand was Blood Crypt, Mountain, Mutavault. So his hand is Mountain. Okay. We have really nothing else going on, so Pack Rat's going to try to save us. We're going to activate this now in case he has another Magma Spray. Because if we activate this now, he can't actually Magma Spray us. So we can activate Mutavault in response, make him 3/3s. Question is whether I want to attack with Mutavault or I want to make another Pack Rat. It's possible you could top deck Nisium Mortars at this point, which is going to be one of his only outs. So I should try to play around that, and what's the best way to do that? Probably just go in and attack here. Because if I make a Rat end of turn, it's lethal, even when he has Mutavault to block with. So I don't want to make the Rat now in case he draws Mortars. I don't know what's going on here. Like, we're not going to use Mutavault to push or make a Rat, just in case he draws a Mortars. I might activate Mutavault to give me the option to using Pack Rat, and I'm not activating Pack Rat because he might draw Mortars. Putrefy. So there's 2 damage on my Pack Rat right now. So, I mean, this Thoughtseize isn't going to do anything. He's going to play everything he draws for the rest of the game. So because there's 2 damage on my Pack Rat, I need to choose whether to activate Mutavault or activate Pack Rat. I'm going to go and activate Pack Rat here. He also doesn't have 6 lands for Nisium Mortars any longer, so he kind of removes all of his outs there. Pack Rat, I mean, he has Magma Spray. He has Magma Spray and Nisium Mortars and Putrefy. It's possible that Pack Rat is a lot worse on the draw than it is on the play. Nightveil Spectre does not get hit by Magma Spray, though it does get hit by the others. I think I actually just want to make certain that I can just kill his guys. That I don't want him to get like a Planeswalker lead on me. Deciding, I don't know if I want Nightveil Spectre or not. Nightveil Spectre is really good against Courser of Kruphix. Really, really good against it. Because I'm always going to hit a spell, and I'm going to remove a spell from him every turn. I can also just not attack if there's a land on top. So it's very, very good against them. Duress seems like it might be okay against him as well, actually. I'd rather Duress like a Xenagos or a Domri or like a Putrefy on my Desecration Demon. I'd rather Duress him than almost anything else. In fact, I probably just want to get a second Duress in there. Vraska's a bit slow. Grey Merchant's not that great either. It's not that great. And we're just going to do it like this. It seems like a pretty fine hand. Turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Guildgate Thoughtseize, turn 3 Connections. Well, we might actually not do the turn 3 Connections because, as we saw last game, he brought in Abrupt Decays. So you want to use the Underworld Connections on an untapped land if you possibly can. So you can at least draw 1 card out of it. He mulliganed to 6 on the play. Turn 1 Forest is a sign of weakness out of red-green. They have a lot of non-basic lands that they really would rather play on turn 1 tapped. A lot of scry lands, a lot of dual lands. And as we can see here, it is definitely a sign of weakness. So he's a bit mana screwed, so I think I actually want to take the Sylvan Caryatid. And he does have a Golgari Charm, so we're probably going to Thoughtseize that next. We'll see what we draw. We draw a second Overworld Connection, so now we don't actually care about the Golgari Charm very much. Okay. So what I'm actually most worried about is him drawing another black source, and then playing Underworld Connections. Because that would actually get him back in this game. The Golgari Charm I'm not terribly concerned about, not nor the Rakdos returned. So he's a bit mana screwed. So we're going to take that one. And now we have the option of either playing Mutavault or playing Golgari Guildgate. I don't really want to play a turn 3 Connections into his waiting Golgari Charm. So I think it's actually more prudent of me to just play Mutavault to get in 2 damage next turn. Because you can't actually Abrupt Decay Mutavault because it says non-land. So this is a pretty safe attack. Golgari Charm only gives -1/-1. Dress is okay. He's going to take it on our connections. He has a charm for the other one. Now, we could hold on to our connections and try to draw either Duress or Thoughtseize. There's only 4 of them in our deck. But, oh, well, I don't have to worry about that. So we're going to Duress him. And he actually has both Abrupt Decay and Golgari Charm. Kind of a pain. Kind of a pain, actually. So we're not going to play Connections this turn because we want to draw a card off it. So which one of these... What do we actually want to take out of this hand? This return is not going to do too much, unless... If he draws like 2 straight lands, the return's going to do a lot. I think I either take one or I take neither. I think I'm just going to take the Rakdos return, because I think if he draws 2 lands, it actually might hurt us. Now, we could have taken the Abrupt Decay, or the Golgari Charm in case we draw a 3rd Connections, but I'm not terribly worried now that I drew Desecration Demon. I don't think they play Devour Fleshes in their deck. But see, this is the situation that I was talking. This is why I took the Rakdos return, because if he had drawn 2 lands, if I want to play the Swamp, which I think I do, so I can play Connections and Devour Flesh and draw a card in the same turn if I draw a land. Or even attack with Mutavault. See, he could have played like land and then return me for 2, and it would actually be a problem. Hero's Downfall. Deciding whether I want to attack with Mutavault or not, and whether I want to play Connections and activate it or not. Activate it on my turn. I think I want to activate it on my turn. If I draw like a Swamp, I can attack with Mutavault. I don't care if these 2 trade. That's a good thing for me. He's way behind. I think that's probably what I want to do. And if I draw like a Temple Malady, I want to play it on my turn. Malady. I should probably figure out how to pronounce that. Okay. See, I actually drew it, so perfect. Didn't want to draw that Swamp. Everything's looking good. Desecration Demon is one of the best cards we can have against him. Now, we did see a Putrefy previous game, so he could definitely draw a Putrefy. But even if he draws a Putrefy, I can attack him for 2, and he's gonna be at 6. And a lot of things are gonna be game over at that point. So I'm deciding whether I want to use Devour Flesh. The problem with using Devour Flesh is he gains a life, so it's not actually lethal. The way it is, I have 8 damage, so he actually has to use Elvish Mystic on my Desecration Demon. So it's actually correct for me to Hero's Downfall the Elvish Mystic to make him sacrifice the Mutavault. Because if I use Devour Flesh, he goes to 9, and you can just let these 2 hit him, or you can even trade off the Mutavaults and go to 3. So I think it's actually correct for me to be doing this. Then if he activates Mutavault, we can Devour Flesh him, but he has to activate Mutavault. He's at 8 life. So he's going to activate Mutavault, and then we're going to respond before he can tap my Desecration Demon. We're going to Devour Flesh him. And that's game.